well, adventure seekers, heading off into the Nundle State Forest to do my first solo, deer hunting trip. So this is the first on many fronts. The last time I shot at a living thing was back when I was in like year 11 and 12, and we had a farm out near Trundle, and we'd come home from boarding school and we'd try and get rid of some of the roos. So yeah, there aren't many YouTube videos where it's a newbie going out, so this is going to be one of them. So for all you newbies, first time hunters out in the bush looking for deer, I hope you enjoy this one.
I've just turned off Forest Way Road and I'm heading into the State Forest. So this is the main way into Black Gap Road. I'm just driving along and I noticed the first bit of sign down there. It's pretty old though, by the look of it. Alright, arrived in amongst the pines here, just off Black Gap Road, pretty much on the northern northeast end of the Nundle State Forest. So just gonna get myself a little bit of a campfire happening. Thanks Fairs for the hummus and lavash. Very beautiful. Alrighty then. Well, it's 5:10. The alarm went off at 4:15. And I promptly hit the snooze button. I was like, it's too bloody early, it's too dark. It's drizzling. It's been drizzling all night, I think. Yeah, it's going to be a bit damp underfoot, which is probably good. Makes it a bit quieter. We're at about 1,200 metres here, which is pretty high. Just gonna make a coffee and... Alrighty, so one coffee and one chia seed compote yogurt thing with real fruit on it. How good's this? Yum! It's pretty dark out there. That's the other thing I forgot. Head torch batteries. A lot of things learnt already, but the going is quiet because the ground's damp, so there's no crackling of leaves, which is good. Anyway, I'm going to use the thermal scope and see what we can see. Okay, so I reckon there's a couple of roos out there that we can see. I think that'd be a roo. It's a fair way off, and this guy's definitely a roo or another hunter looking at me. Definitely snaky country too, but they're not up yet, I don't think. Looks like this could have been a four-wheel drive track at one point. So I'm just going out on a spur, follow a ridge down. Yeah, I'm on the wrong side of the ridge. So, note to self, has to have orange on it. Funny, I thought I was going to break that stick the first time I went past. And the thing's round so it can roll. I can't believe I didn't hear it. So then I went uphill. Well, we're not leaving here until we find it. Be handy to have a thermal so you can see it. Okay, so here the story goes. I crossed this log, okay, and probably stepped on that one and down, and then I had to duck under this branch, and there it is. And it's exactly where I wanted to use it next. How bizarre. This is where I decided I've lost it, right here. Oh, God. That was an hour well spent though. I mean, we're on a really common trail. Someone would have definitely found that. Alright, it's game on. I've just seen two coming down that other side of the gully heading towards this big fallen down tree, but the problem is they're right down in that creek and I've just only seen glimpses, partials of their bodies. So I've been juggling between different shooting spots, and here I go. Ooh, well, the gun has gone off and it's down in that gully, and I've moved across to the left here because I thought I winged it and it gone up I saw one of them go up the gully there and give a bit of a side kick, and I thought I must have injured it, but I've just moved across to the left here and I can see this white belly there. Okay, so I'm moving down to the gully and I shot it from up there, and this is where she's landed. Alright, bloody leeches on you already. Let's try and bring that out of there. Yep, perfect shot. Exactly where I aimed. Okay, so I had the two in my sights, well, not exactly in my sights. I was stalking them for about a good 5 minutes, and then the last few minutes I had her fully in sight, but she was pointing straight up the hill, so I had to wait for her to turn. And when she turned, it was all over very, very quickly. So now I'm committed at this point to make good on using all this beast. Anyone watching? Please bear in mind I am a newbie at this. So here we go. Okay. First, so what I'm doing is I want to trim around the anus and pull the anus out so that I can put a zip tie on it so that the contents doesn't go inside the cavity when I'm parting her up, which would spoil the meat. But I'm working on a slope and it's very awkward. She does not want to cooperate at all. I wouldn't want to either. So at this camera position, have a look at her stomach profile. She's still quite fat. It's taken me probably 15 minutes to get my shit together and get organised and start. But over the next few minutes, her stomach really starts to bloat. Such a short period of time. For all you seasoned deer hunters, that first incision across her tummy was really just cutting hide, not penetrating into the stomach wall. It should all be one movement really. It's a common theme for this first attempt is that I actually do a lot of wasted cutting. So go easy on me. And I spend a huge amount of time on this neck, which ends up being all for very, very little. So yeah, and all this time bending over takes a toll. It's backbreaking. So the more efficient you can be, definitely the better, and I was not. When it came to the neck, my intention was to use the neck for like a neck roast. So I skinned the neck and but at the end of the day, I was just so knackered from bending over, and my experience with the saw on the Leatherman, going through the sternum and the pelvis area, it's a great saw, but it's got a short throw on it, and it's hard work. And when I started to work on the neck, it was just, I basically was just too tired at that point. Okay, I'm unzipping her here, but look how much she's bloated already. The contents is really actually quite hard to hold back. It's really trying to come out past the blade, and obviously you don't want to cut any of this content here coming out. I should have spun her around so that the gravity's pushing her contents back into the chest area. I'm down near the mammary glands here, and it's a really thick, it's about a good inch thick of flesh, and in hindsight I probably, rather than going through the centre of it, I probably should have sort of taken a side route and avoided cutting through that. It's just when you're in the moment and just thinking you've got to do everything symmetrical and things like that. So that was another lesson I learned here. It was quite tough. My saving grace is that it convinced me that she wasn't weaning anyone off, fortunately. Very easy to cut something I shouldn't cut here. I need the saw. Okay, out comes the Leatherman saw, and this is probably the most brutal part of the whole thing. It's really loud bone ripping, and just downright brutal. From a newbie's point of view, this is when you really have to have that resolve to be committed. I mean, you're going to be doing this. Yep, not for the faint-hearted. Yeah, so that's where I got her. I was shooting uphill, so no exit wound either. You're probably thinking, have you got through that bloody chest cavity yet or what? Come on! And I've actually shortened this video section. So obviously this is hard work, and in hindsight it's probably not necessary. I mean, once you've got access to the diaphragm area, you can cut the diaphragm and get your hands in there and pretty much do everything you need to do. And one of those parts, one of those things you've got to do is really tie off with a zip tie maybe the esophagus, so that the stomach contents doesn't flow back out when you pull all the stomach contents out. So yeah, that section of hard work is probably not necessary unless you're taking the ribs with you, which I had no intention of really doing. Here I'm just cutting around the esophagus, which I'll then put the zip tie that I've had in my mouth for the last bloody 20 minutes, and I'll put that on, and then I'll sever the esophagus. But this could probably be done further down from inside the chest cavity. So on goes the zip tie, finally out of my mouth, so maybe if I say anything further to you, you can understand me. That's another thing, I've got tools sitting on the ground, not a good idea, mainly because potentially going to lose them, leave them behind. So I'm just going to pull that zip tie tight. I know a lot of people don't do this, but first time round I was trying to minimise as much mess as possible and potential for spoiling any meat. So now I can pretty much remove the connective tissue that's holding the organs in and the diaphragm, and it should all let go. There is a fair bit of blood in here because of the type of bullet I was using. I used a Federal 308 Federal, I think it's 135 grain hollow point, which in hindsight was a bit messy. So messy in fact that I was later lying in bed after doing this, and it occurred to me I didn't see a heart. So the heart was pretty much destroyed along with one lung. So yeah, the hollow point's not the best choice. Nearby tree would be handy. Hang her up. So at this point I'm pretty much procrastinating. I'm avoiding the job where I've got to make these guts actually come away down near the anus. I'm sort of reluctant to make that cut for some reason. I'm doing little bits of everything else, trying to avoid it, but I know it has to be done. I'm just fearful of creating a mess with either urine or feces. So I'm sort of working around it and not getting to the task that needs to be done. Once it's out, I'll be good to go. But I start, cutting necks and cutting forequarters and all sorts of things. Silly buggers, that's got to go out of the way. Let's try and get some more bloody up. Alright. Okay. Sharp. Yeah, just a word of warning here, wherever you've made a saw cut, that bone is now really, really sharp and pointy, and if you try and force anything, you'll probably slip your own wrists on the bone, so take it easy. It's hard work. On the back breaking, I'll probably run it upside down too. Okay, I'm trying to find the urethra so I don't cut it. Now at this point, when most of its insides are outside, there's really not probably much to worry about cutting the urethra, because there's probably no bladder in there, Troy. Send that blood out first. Right. Plus, you've got plenty of other stuff to play with. Don't eat that, yeah. Trying to work here. First cut out.
Oh my god, really? You just got your first real piece of meat out, Troy? I don't know how long I've been watching this already, but yeah, you better pick up your game on this, mate.
Let's go to the next one. Number 2. Alright, let's work on these legs. Okay. I need to like let's see if we can't do this a better way.
So here I'm just starting to work on the leg that took a fair bit of the blast, and I'm realising that there's not much to be salvaged in that section. And I'm also realising that my blade is really, really blunt. I've probably hit too much bone, being such a newbie, on the Outdoor Edge Razor Pro, and it took me quite a while before I swap over to a better blade, or a newer blade. At this point my back is starting to really fatigue.
And the 2 leg.
So, when in doubt, go back to do a bit of work on the neck.
Oh yeah. Keep going. crosswise. Really. Yeah, the shit's a bit. And you leeches. Okay, front leg. Bloody leeches on bags. Should get rid of that.
Oh yeah, let's go back and do some more work on the neck. Right, finally getting onto the back straps.
Right, leaving the scene of the crime, unfortunately. Thank you very much. We will try not to waste any. My pack now weighs a freaking ton. And there are freaking leeches everywhere you step. Oh, man, this is heavy. I've got nearly 100 metres of vertical gain to get. Okay, creek crossing first. I've done about 60 metres, I've got about another 30 to go by the look of it to get to the top where the road kind of is. There's a bit of a drizzle again. Hasn't actually stopped. Which is kind of nice. If it was bright blue sky belting down, this would be torture. Down there, plus another, I don't know, 100 metres, 200 metres. I'm doing a lot of this, looking down at my feet, trying to catch a breather. Whew. There she is. There's home. Alright, I'm here. Oh, gotta get this pack off. It's eeling me. The blowies know it's here. Alright, that was hard work. Time is 2:20. I've been back at probably about 20 minutes. And trying to work in this small space is going to be a challenge. It's sort of crowding my head, actually. I can't do it outside because of the blowies. But basically what I want to do is just pull the meat out of the bags, maybe give it a quick rinse off with the tap, put it back in the bag, whack it in the freezer. That's what I think I should be doing. While I think of it, the Leatherman, what is it? This is the Leatherman Free P4, was really good. But what really stood out was the Kershaw with the Vortex badging on it. Mate, that went awesome. So I was very impressed with that. I was more so impressed with that than I was with the Outdoor Edge, the one that's got the gut hook and the scalpel. The scalpel just went blunt so fast. The gut hook is a ripper, literally. But yeah, that scalpel was brand new. I haven't done anything with it. And it gave up the ghost real quick. Alright, first leg into the freezer. Alright, it's 2.5 degrees. Now, that feels like loins. What have we in the bag, Santa? I know, backstrap. I think I managed to keep them pretty darn clean. Do a quick rinse. Just a cold water rinse. Must have a drying pad. I'm going to sacrifice a t-shirt. It's a worthy t-shirt though. It's the Bush Survival Australia t-shirt. Should shut the lid on the freezer.
About a year ago I did a couple of modules with Bushcraft Survival Australia, which is run by Gordon Demnon and Nero, and highly recommend it. Great courses. Look, one of the lessons I learnt from doing this was not to have too many game bags. I spent a few hours sewing up these game bags, had about 5 of them, and look, just stick to one. There's less washing up when you get home. You just don't need them all, so stick to one.
I think it's basically kick back and relax now. Try and get a fire going. It's all a bit damp now, but where there's a will, there's a way. The leeches nailed me. Didn't feel a thing. They're the best leeches, I've got to say. Yes, I have knee guards on. They make sitting and kneeling and glassing a lot easier. Let's put that in there. Oh, there he is. Look at the size of him. Look at the size of that leech. I know he's not going to suck on me because he's fucking full. I certainly had good feed.
Little did I know, but there was still another one lurking in my trousers, which I found in the morning. Equally big.
It's a bit of a struggle. So for dinner, I've got yummy gourmet, I don't know, ratatouille maybe? I'm not sure what it is. It's leftovers from the yoga retreat. Cheers. Oh shit, boiling already. Need some salt, maybe. Should always try it first, shouldn't you? doesn't need anything. Except for a beer. Oh yeah, got a beer. Once again, Chef Sarah. Well, good morning. I'm suiting up for day 2, tour of duty number 2. I gotta say, the van does smell a little bit. I think it's probably, well, I'm putting it down to the butchering all over my pants and gaiters. Probably is what smells. It's got that meaty smell about it. So don't know how that's going to go for hunting and being stealthy and scent and things like that. I might grab some of the local veg and rub it over my legs, because I'm sure it's the gaiters that smell. According to the forecast, there's a bit of a westerly, which is the opposite of yesterday. And I'm also trying to pick a spot that's not as steep in terrain. I'm about 50 metres, maybe not even 100 metres from the van, walking along the road. And there are 2 deer just off the road. But I couldn't actually, it was still too dark to actually get a scope on them. But it's a bit brighter now, but I think they might have moved over to the other side of that gully over there. And there's barely any wind, so the longer I stay here, the more that smell's going to get around. Do you like the camo job? Pretty cool, huh? It would be so good to get one right here next to the van. I think I'm heading that way, because the wind's meant to be coming from over there back this way. But my little telltale on my rifle here is telling me that the wind is behind me, which means all my scent is going into the target area. Not what I want. Okay, my mate Glenn's just arrived on his DR little monster.
What's with all the comms?
This is the new comms, man, for the desert crossing. This is for in the car.
Oh my god. Mate, I've come in on fumes. Absolutely on fumes.
Well, what are we going to do to get you home?
Diesel, fuck. Dunno. We're going to...
I'll have to go ahead
Well...
and find something.
Might do that now. It's a bit of light there. How long have you had this for?
Oh, we bought it for the desert trip. And I think it was because it was the camo.
When I bought that camo cap,
Yeah.
Frankie had like a stern word to me. She goes, I told you when you started motorbiking with Troy that you weren't allowed to turn to Troy. And now you've turned. And now you've turned to Troy. You can't wear that cap anymore. You're not allowed to wear any camo.
Just for the viewers, that's actually my jumper.
And
It's not. Glenn doesn't own any camo other than the hat.
and then I showed her the sleeping bag, and she's like, "No,
No.
you have to take it back. You can't."
It's funny. What's Gnomes think though?
She just laughed. She's like, you're turning into Troy. And even I was like, you're right, I am. I've turned into Troy.
I hope that's not too much of a bad thing.
All right, we're here at Troy's campsite number 2, not number 1. I went to number 1. It wasn't number 1. I was lost. I thought I'd never find him. It's number 2. Or is this 3?
No, this is 2.
2. And we've got, look at these little puppies, loins that are cut out of the animal fresh yesterday. They've had a day to sit and just rest after their traumatic experience of being cut out of the beast. But I can't wait to hook into these. Water!
When's my personal foodie?
I don't really know what I'm doing, but
Bring on these camps.
I know that it definitely needs some oil to crisp it up. So let's put some oil on. Garlic infused olive oil. You got salt and pepper here, Troy?
Yeah, do.
Let's massage those puppies. Oh yeah. Right, where's the salt and pepper?
Okay, well, hang on. That means a trip to the van.
Quick, we've got coals that are perfect right now. Salt. Yeah. Can't do it. Oil. No.
Actually, no. No, it's in that set. Oh, yes.
I think he's been through 3 cupboards, 4 packs, opened 7 zippers. Here we go. We might have it. No, that's baby laxative. No, it's a snake bite kit. No, that's a hemorrhage kit.
Where is that bloody tube thing with all the different dividers? It's in here, isn't it?
There it is.
Yeah. Found.
Right. It's in pack 17, subsection 4, container A.
Bay 3.
Right. Right, crack the pepper.
Is this
Crack-
my
crack them, yeah.
contribution, other than ordering the beast?
Other than doing all the work to get it. Oh, that's good. Other side.
Nylon pants are about to burst in flame.
Oh, I think we're good. I'm going on. Yeah?
Yep.
Oh, sizzle. Yeah, boy, look at that.
Couple of little loinies.
That looks good. Yeah. Right. Tongage?
Yeah, in the
In there?
motorbike kit.
Oh, we've got someone coming up the road.
You're not getting any. Simple as that.
Oh, yeah. Tongs. All this work so we can eat meat and just go, "Arr."
Yeah.
Meat in the cold.
So
pan,
John
it's never
is
tasted so
another
good.
fellow hunter that pulled up earlier on in the day, and we had a bit of a chinwag, and he's gone off and
So Troy, am I using this for a chopping board?
caught one where I gave him a little hint to go to, and he's done all right.
See you, mate.
Yeah, I'm glad you got one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I reckon that's.
Yeah.
Have a touch, poke him.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Good.
Mm.
Let it sit for 5 or 10.
Yep.
See you, mate. Nice guy.
Yeah.
Another, not a nice killer.
Murderer.
We met some nice
There's lots of
killers.
murderers around this place.
Those veggies are good too.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty lucky to score those. While I'm racing to get out the door, Megan's batching up all this food for me.
Oh,
Really
did
good.
Megan make that for you?
No, it was leftovers from the retreat.
Oh yeah. So there we go. They've come off the grill. They're still pretty rare, mate. They're going to be pink in the middle for sure. But I think they're going to be good. You don't want to overcook them.
And what do we got going with them? We got those veggies.
Have a look at this. Just roast veggies.
They look awesome.
Care of Chef Sarah, I believe.
Yeah, Chef Sarah.
Might give them a last little heat. So what's the rule we learnt? It can touch the flame but not the wood.
Yeah. Otherwise it just gets creosote on it type stuff. Kershaw's coming out.
cut down the centre.
Yeah, just cut it down the centre and have a look.
Yeah, the other thing I forgot was a table. A table would be really handy.
Yeah,
Perfect.
good. Cut it into slices, mate. Yeah, that way. Yeah,
That's so
that
bloody
way, yeah.
nice. Oh, that's so nice. Well, I want to thank that little fellow for providing us with this meal and this experience. Not many people get to experience their meat the same way you did.
That's right.
Right, thank you very much.
It's not undercooked.
No. No, that's perfect. Yet. What are you thinking? Different?
It's not much different to It's not that much different to beef, really.
All right, I'm going to put this down so I
Yeah.
can have a go.
Yeah.
But flavour-wise,
Flavour-wise, it's amazing. It tastes really like ribeye. Like, I can't tell it's venison.
no, I can't tell. It doesn't taste gamey.
No.
I was expecting something really strong and pungent.
It's not really strong at all.
No. At all. I don't know whether it's the rub or the marinade, but I would not know the difference.
It's pretty incredible eating a piece of meat that you know was just walking around down there.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible. Yeah, they're cold. Yeah, it's really slow, minimal movements in here, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially when you got another inch on me.
Well, it's I think that's a successful mission. Nothing spilt or broken. Although I don't have that, they're not open. So it's
Job half done.
potentially a fail. Oh, how good's that? You didn't put a bucket under there.
I know. I need a catcher.
I need some kind of
Yep.
Yeah, I needed a beer to just kind of sip a beer in the middle of it. Yeah. All right. Back in. That's primal.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you came up, mate.
Oh, it's fucking delicious. Ah!
Okay, packed up, fire's out. Ticked a few boxes this weekend, which is really good. First time beginner's luck, got the first fellow, and we had a few other people come past and they haven't had as much luck, so I'm pretty stoked on that. Mate Glenn's come up, we've had a loin each, and yeah, lots of lessons learnt and only go better from here, so cool.